I know we just got the engine bay sprayed yesterday, but it's already time to move on to the next big thing, which is building the motor. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I do got to give a huge shout out to MAP. They have been a huge help with this build, getting parts in super quick so we can get started with the next projects with this car. I do have a discount code, but we're trying to make the whole discount system a little bit easier this time. So every part that we ever install on this car, if it's through MAP, will be linked down in the description box below. And instead of having to enter a discount code, if you just click the link, the discount will be automatically applied, and it's a 5% discount if applicable, because I know there's some companies, there's some manufacturers that don't allow their parts to be discounted. So yeah, every single thing that we ever install, just know it'll be linked down below, and that goes for any company in the world that we ever work with or any parts we ever install. Everything's always linked down in the description box below. And say if it's through like JD Customs, our discount code through them is Niemela 10. You do have to enter it there, and it'll save you 10% off at JD for all their crazy titanium goodies and whatnot. But yeah, figured I'd let you guys know. Once again, MAP, I appreciate you guys. Let's head to the shop and get this party started. We got so much work to get done today, just like every day. I just want to like touch it. Just touch the paint now that it's dry. Oh my gosh, this thing came out beautiful. If you haven't watched yesterday's video of painting this thing, go check it out. I know it ain't gonna see much sunlight, but under the light, look at this color. Look at all that beautiful blue flake in it. So nice. I really want to get started on throwing like some things back together in the bay. We can install like the wiring harness, all the brake lines and all that. But before we do anything with this car, the most important thing right now is to get the block, the pistons, the rods, crank, a ton of stuff to the machine shop. We're already like at least a week out on machine work. So we need to get that there today, being Friday. I'm hoping they can, like, I don't know if they're working over the weekend, but regardless, that's the most important thing because that's the thing that's gonna be holding us up. So let's pull out that bottom end, get it all torn down, throw everything in the truck, head out, drop it off, and then we can come back to the shop. I think Bobby wants to work on her car a little bit today as well, but I want to throw something, just something. Let's do one thing real quick. This is what I've been most curious about, all right? She's a bit dirty, but I just want to see the yellow on the black. The yellow, black, and blue. Let's check out the combo. Oh my Lord. Okay, that's gonna look beautiful. Enough of that though. Let's get this bottom end fished out of here. Spend 15, 20, 30 minutes max and get that thing apart. We got the block completely gutted. So here we have a bare block, crank, rods and pistons. Main bearings are actually quite a bit more worn than I expected. Like that one's got a decent amount of wear on it. The crank should be fine with just a polish. I don't think it's gonna need to be turned at all. Hopefully we're good there. Rod bearings, a little bit of wear. They're actually much better condition than the mains are, which I find a little bit surprising. But yeah, let's run in. We're gonna drop off the block, the crank, the new pistons and rods, and I think that's about all the machine shop is gonna need. Let's pop open these MAP packages real quick and run through what we are doing on this build, pistons and rods wise. So we got Manly pistons, Eagle H-beam rods, ARP mains. We already have ARP head studs, and then the Eagle rods come with ARP rod bolts. And then we went with King bearings as well. Like we talked about earlier, I will have all this down below, and if there's a discount code that can be applied, she'll already be on there. Beautiful.
You doing a balance shaft delete in there? Okay. You got her? Yeah, I got her. Those old guys, we gotta watch out for our backs. Perfect.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. I'll get that collection flyover over. Okay, so everything is dropped off at the machine shop. I'm hoping for a somewhat quick turnaround time, but it sounds like they are pretty backed up right now, just like every other good machine shop here in Spokane. And they're doing quite a bit of machine work as well. So we have to do a bore and hone, a line bore and hone for the ARP mains, complete balance with the crank, flywheel, clutch, and the crank balancer. So they're gonna balance all that, make sure everything's balanced out so it runs smoothly. And then what else? Deck the block, and then a crank polish as well. So I think it's gonna take a little bit of time. Not a big deal though, because we have 8 billion other things we can do on this car. Obviously, it's completely torn apart. Been trying to figure out what to do with this fan issue with the Evo 6 radiator. A ton of people run this exact radiator for the same reason. It moves this outlet right here. Evo 8 is over there and Evo 6 is over here. So it clears the turbo kit and all that. A lot of people run like just a generic slim fan that mounts right to the radiator. So I just ordered one of those up. They're like 30 bucks and it should give us way more clearance, way more space, actually mount properly to the radiator, and should look a little bit cleaner overall. So thankfully we got that taken care of. I don't even know where to start, to be honest. There's so much work that needs to be done. Part of me wants to just rush through and get this thing done as fast as possible, but I know that in the long run, I would regret that. I need to slow down. Like I always tell myself, like, slow down, Devin, take your time, make it as good as possible. I know I have like the capabilities to make this thing really freaking nice and beautiful and different and perfect, but I love to just get stuff done. So with this project, I need to slow it down, take time, do it right. Like my dad always said back in the day when I was young, growing up, do it right or don't do it at all. Let's run through real quick and unmask her. Make sure we did a good mask job. A little bit of blue right there, but there's a giant grommet that covers the whole thing, so not a big deal. The main thing was this badge right here. I didn't want to pull it off because then you could clearly tell it's been re-riveted on. It wouldn't look clean. So I tried to do a really good masking job on that. I think we got that situated fairly decently. All right, before we throw in the harness, we need to get this thing cleaned up. I really don't want to get a ton of water on it, but I really don't see another option. So what we're gonna do is degrease it, pressure wash it, run through with an air compressor, blow out every single connector, and then as this thing is going back in the car, every connection, we're gonna be using dielectric grease. Here you go. Install, please.
Honey! I was just joking. Stop being rude. I was just joking.
Oh damn, those look banger. Those are glossy AF. The first thing we gotta do is throw these lights back in. We're gonna get these bezels back on. And then we picked up a mod. It's something that it's something that a lot of people commented a while ago to do on Bob's car, and it's gonna look bad.
Everybody's been like begging me to do this, I feel like.
Begging like a doggy?
Yeah, kinda.
Let's get these in first. What do you think?
Sexy AF.
It's a little bit dirty already.
Honey, it's fine.
If you're gonna wash it, don't scrub these at all.
Okay.
All right, we got the fog, or the DRL bezels back in. And we got a new mod. Bob got a new mod today. So this here is the mod that we picked up. Good old carbon fiber hood scoop. So we gotta pop all this goodies off right here. All this stuff. Clips everywhere, typical new car thing. But let's do a little before and after, all right? So here's the before. She looks pretty nice. Carbon there, a little bit of black going on there. Imagine a carbon scoop, she really gonna set it off. Let's get this thing swapped out. Scoop is on. Drop a comment below. What do you guys think? What do you think?
I freaking love it.
Game Changer 101 or 102?
Game Changer 101.
If you guys want to pick up this hood scoop, I'll link it down below. If you want these DRLs that we just redid, I'll link them down below. Just know the paint is kind of whack on the DRLs, but they look good other than that. Oh, and we put the summer or the winter wheels back on because we got a ton of snow the other day. But now, look, it's beautiful out. But we're supposed to get more snow. That looks good. I dig it. All right, getting back to work on this thing. I'm just gonna keep going through, cleaning stuff up. So this here is the line that runs from the AYC fluid reservoir down to the transfer case. It kind of runs on the bottom of the frame rails and whatnot. Let's run through, get that all cleaned up. There's so much cleaning to do. We also have the ABS pump. All the lines are thankfully in really, really good condition, so we don't need to do any fixing there. But the pump itself is pretty crusty, so we might have to clean that up somehow. Not exactly sure, but we'll figure that out in a minute. Ended up pulling all the lines off of this pump so we can get them cleaned up. And then this bracket is pretty freaking crusty as well. So we are gonna repowder coat that bracket. And then this right here looks like it actually unbolts. The pump itself appears to be in perfect condition, but this little cover on the front, honestly don't really know what it is. I guess we'll figure that out when we pull it off. But there's 2 Allen bolts holding that thing on, so we can pull that off and probably get that thing powder coated as well. Well, it's definitely not a cover. It's some sort of motor, it looks like. Now that I think of it, it's probably the pump. Looks like a pump, feels like a pump, smells like a pump. It's probably a pump. So there's definitely no sandblasting in powder coating this piece. I think our only option is to try and grab some brake cleaner, clean it up, wire brush it, and then paint it. Just rattle can, honestly. I don't know why that wouldn't work. It's not gonna be as perfect as I want, but it's the best option that we have, other than just buying a brand new ABS pump, which is outrageously expensive. So let's do that. I'm gonna wire brush her, get all that rust and grime off there. Actually, better yet, we could just use this. This guy right here will work perfect. Good old prime wheel. I'm gonna slap a few coats of paint on that piece. Should look pretty nice. The bracket or the mount will get powder coated. And then this whole assembly, it's already pretty clean, but I'm gonna run through with brake cleaner, just get it all perfect, so it doesn't look whack and out of place on our brand new bay. If we're gonna powder coat this piece here, we might as well do this piece as well, which I was already planning on doing, but let's just do them at the same time. This is like a little relay bracket. She sits right next to the ABS pump. Honestly, I don't know what some of these are for. I think one is the injector resistor. Other than that, I am not really sure, to be honest. All right. There's actually one more thing, since we're gonna have space in the oven. This right here is the AYC pump. This whole thing needs to be gone through. It is super, super crusty, but we're gonna make it look new again. What do we gotta do? Let's pull apart the whole entire assembly, get all the brackets off, powder coat the brackets. We can probably do the same thing with the pump as the ABS pump. Pull this guy off here, paint that, clean up the pump, maybe paint this piece here. I don't know, let's just get started. Let's start digging into this thing. I had high hopes that these would be in good condition underneath the grease, but I think I was wrong. All right, let's get these 4 pieces powder coated. All of them, I know these are like a gray color factory, but all 4 of these are gonna go ink black and should look pretty nice. I also realized that we have the power steering pump reservoir that we had a powder coat as well, so I got that in the oven. While those parts are in the oven though, just got word from the cylinder head shop that our head is done, getting new guides in and cutting the seat. So let's go grab that, make sure it's all good to go. So at least we'll have that for when the block and the bottom end parts come back. All right, we got our head back. Beautiful, perfect, brand new looking. Yeah, all new guides, cut the seats, decked it. Actually, it's previously decked, but yeah, this thing's pretty much ready to go bolt on. We just have to throw in the valves, springs, seals, all that good stuff. We can do that later on though when we get the bottom end squared away. We got the pump looking way better than it used to. She's becoming near mint. Way, way, way better. But I also did promise myself that I didn't want to reinstall any parts onto this build unless I was confident that they couldn't be any nicer. There's certainly a lot of room for improvement with this pump. I'm gonna do it. I'm taking it apart. We've already pulled apart the transfer and the trans and some other stuff that I don't really know what I'm doing. We might as well add another part to the mix. I need to hurry up though because it's getting freaking late. Bobby's gonna yell. So let's rip this thing apart real quick. If it's like, oh, tore my glove. If it's simple as I think it will be, then I'll be confident just ripping it apart real quick, doing a quick sandblast, doing a quick maybe like a silver Cerakote on it, and throwing it back together. Let's see what we got. First problem of the day, kind of. Both those Ellen heads just shipped out. Sick. Oh boy. I could not even get those Ellens out with vice grips. They're really stuck in there, and I don't want to really dig in further, risking not being able to like reassemble the pump. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to clean it up some more. We can always pull this little guy off right here, paint it black, but I don't want to lose that sticker. That sticker's kind of cool. Don't puncture, do not heat. Warning, high pressure into gas. Maybe I shouldn't mess with that. All right, well, I'm gonna try to clean this thing up more and see what we can do. I wonder if they make a school that teaches you how to just leave stuff alone when it's not broken. We now have 2 drilled out bolts in the pump. Can't get the pump apart. I think we can get the pump apart, but everything's so stuck and like seized and crusty on it that we would need a torch, and we don't have a torch, at least not one with gas in it or propane. So yeah, that's pretty cool. We'll probably need a new pump, a new AYC pump, I'm guessing. If anyone has one, bang my line. Just wasted like 2 hours doing that for no reason. Well, there was a very significant reason. I wanted it perfect. That's my downfall, is I just want everything perfect. But yeah, that's not gonna happen tonight. I want to put some stuff on the car real quick. Just a few little things. We got a lot of stuff cleaned up. ABS pump turned out beautiful. Literally perfect. Okay. This little plate with the fuse or the relays and whatnot on it turned out good. Power steering pump, reservoir, beautiful. And then all the stuff for our broken AYC pump, beautiful as well. I'm gonna throw on the brake lines. So let's get these on, and then we can get the pump on and kind of just start seeing how this whole thing's gonna look all cleaned up. Low-key kind of like annoyed with myself right now that I didn't just leave that pump. Oh well, it is what it is. Here's a rough idea of how she's coming along and how clean this thing is gonna be. Wow, I was gonna do those lines black, but I kind of like the OEM color. It's just like, it's OEM, that's what's beautiful about it, so that looks sick. This is gonna be the stopping point for today. Main goal of today was just getting all that stuff dropped off at the machine shop, which we accomplished and more, so I'm excited for that. If you guys enjoyed, peace out, I'll see you tomorrow.